Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. So day 10 is going to take us to the 31st of August. Can you believe it? Last day of the month and also last day of meteorological summer is in 10 days time. So we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extend GFS and ECM ensembles very around a couple of weeks. And I want CFS V2 at the end of the video next 4 weeks. You're going to get us into the middle of September. Unbelievable and amazing, incredible. Right, so the first video released today was our 7 AM forecast. We also released the week ahead forecast, always on Saturday, not to mention the ECMWF 6 weeks look ahead. So check out all of today's videos if you would like to. That, please like, share, subscribe on all our videos. Thank you so much for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. Now, this young man is Gabriel, and Gabriel is sporting a GavsWeatherVids t-shirt. So Gabriel and Gabriel's mum have been buying a little bit of merch from GavsWeatherVids, and there it is, looking very, very fetching on Gabriel, one of our younger viewers. So thank you so much to Gabriel and also Gabriel's mum for buying the GavsWeatherVids t-shirt and for sharing the picture of Gabriel wearing a t-shirt with our Twitter page. And if you'd like to, if you do buy a bit of merch, you'd like to be featured, you know, on our social media accounts and potentially in videos as well, then all you need to do is share the picture of the merch with us. You know, on Twitter or Facebook or Discord or whatnot, and we will feature it in the videos if we've got a little bit of time, as we have today. So thank you so much to all of you for all the merch that you've brought. There's loads of, you know, sold loads of merch. I've been very surprised how much we've sold. Thank you so much to all of you for getting involved in this and helping to support the channel and promote the channel as well, of course. And thank you so much. And thank you so much to Gabriel as well. Do you want anything to Gabriel, Mrs. P?
I think you look very nice. Well done, Gabriel.
There you go, Gabriel. We think you look absolutely great, my friend, in your GavsWeatherVids t-shirt. Right, so if you'd like a little bit of merch, this is the GavsWeatherVids spring page just here. What do you think about all of this, then? You can get to this from the description with the video. So we've got face masks, we've got phone cases, we've got stickers, we've got pillows. So we're going to be giving away 2 GavsWeatherVids pillows when we reach 12k, by the way, subscribers. So yeah, if you want a pillow, then we'll be giving 2 of those away. We've got the very nice looking GavsWeatherVids beach towels, and go zoom down to the beach with GavsWeatherVids. We've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, that's a GavsWeatherVids t-shirt. Of course, we've got tank tops, we've got hoodies, and we've even got a pint glass that you can drink your magic water from. So it's incredible, it's amazing how much support we've had for this. And I just thank you all so very much. And if you have not yet brought some merch, and you'd like to buy some GavsWeatherVids merch, then you can get to the GavsWeatherVids spring page from the description. And there's also like a thing underneath the videos, you know, that displays our merch as well. So it's incredible. Thank you so much to all of you. And yeah, thank you so much to Gabriel and Gabriel's mum as well. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, so better start the video then. And we're going to start off with Tropical Atlantic. Now, Grace became a Category 3 hurricane, a major hurricane for a few hours overnight. More about that in a second. Let's deal with this yellow X just here first of all. This is a disturbance area exiting Cabo Verde. It's disturbance 1. There's 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days and a 20% chance in the next 5 days. We don't need to worry too much about that. Now, Grace, as I say, became a Category 3 major hurricane overnight as Grace moved onto the Mexican coast from the Gulf of Mexico. It's inland now and weakening very, very dramatically. So currently giving maximum sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, gone from a Category 3 to a Category 1, with a minimum sense pressure of 980 millibars. It wasn't all that far from a Category 4 hurricane, I noticed. Around 10 miles per hour off, I think. So it really did power up a lot overnight, somewhat unexpectedly. Clicking on Grace and going here, we can see that this is going to weaken further. So in the next few hours, we'll go down to a tropical storm, and then by tomorrow, will actually be a tropical depression inland in central Mexico, giving not as bad wind, but certainly copious amounts of rain and no doubt a risk of significant flooding. And then, of course, we've got Henri as well. Tropical storm Henri is just here in the Atlantic, giving maximum sustained winds of 70 miles per hour with a minimum set pressure of 993 millibars, moving northeastwards at 12 miles per hour. Clicking on Henri, we can see this is going to become a Category 1 hurricane in the next few hours, and then this Category 1 hurricane is forecast to move due north and slam into the New England coast, probably as a tropical storm, but possibly still as a hurricane sometime later tomorrow. So this is going to make landfall on the southern New England coast, so those states there, Connecticut, for example, Massachusetts, I think, could be affected by this. Those states that are in that southern part of New England could be in for a rough old time of it tomorrow, with huge amounts of rain and no doubt really quite severe winds as well. That's a very long way north for a hurricane to be making landfall, but it has happened in the past. It can happen sometimes, and yeah, so in for a bad old time. We do have people watching from northeastern America, I am aware, so those of you that are in that part of the states, do take care and look after yourselves tomorrow. Of course, it's forecast to become a Category 1 and no stronger, but then again, Grace powered up very quickly and dramatically and rather unexpectedly. So these things can take on a life of their own, and it's not impossible that this might power up to an even stronger storm than a Category 1. But a Category 1 is bad enough, of course, with maximum sustained winds of like 75, 80 miles per hour. That's sustained wind, remember. Gusts will be in excess of that, probably in excess of 100 miles an hour. So yeah, just take care of yourself, those of you that are in that part of the states. Right, coming back to home, the south central temperature is looking, so the CET is currently standing at 16.4, which is an anomaly of 0.4 of a degree above average. That's provisional to yesterday, to the 20th of August. Been an update from my good friend Simon, aka Global Warming, at the Weather Outlook Forum. He is projecting, Simon is projecting that the CT will finish up by month's end at 16.2. 16.2, which will be a little bit above average for 61 to 1990. It'll be about average for 71 to 2000. And it's going to be a bit below average probably for 81 to 2010. I think. So it's not going to be far from average, though. Basically, we're very, very close to average with this August. Not going to be all that much in it. And clearly, we have lost the anomalies to average, the warm anomalies to average that we had in June and July, which were both running around 1.5 degrees above average, 61 to 1990 anyway, but even for 81 to 2010 were warmer than average. So yeah, we've seen this deterioration in the summer in terms of the temperature and also in terms of cloud amounts. It's been a very dull August that we anticipated within the GavsWeatherVids summer forecast. We said that the best weather in terms of warmer, drier weather would be earlier in the summer. August was likely to deteriorate, and that has verified. So we'll be verifying doing the verification for the summer forecast when we get into September. I think it's been a reasonable forecast. I mean, it's been a pretty decent one. I'm quite pleased with how summer forecast has progressed, but more about that in a couple of weeks' time. Right, these are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Cardiff today. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Cardiff. We're starting off quite close to, or a little bit above average at the moment. Around middle of the week, we're going to go quite warm with the upper air temperatures. Not a heat wave, but it will go quite warm in the middle part of the week, probably getting the temperature up to like the mid-20s Celsius, especially in the west. And then a bit of a drop back towards average at the end of the week and into the bank holiday weekend. And then we stick around average, seemingly, as we go on into the first week of September. Precipitation-wise, we have got rain today, of course. Once this wet weather is out of the way, generally it's dry through much of the coming week. So into the bank holiday weekend, lots of dry weather. Very end of August, and more particularly into the start of September, it looks like things could get a bit more unsettled then. with precipitation spikes appearing. But of course, that is extended range and unreliable, therefore. We're going to have plenty of dry weather over the next week once today is out of the way. Temperature anomalies on the 21st and 29th of August going to be generally a little bit above average. Precipitation anomalies on the 21st and 29th of August going to be generally drier than average, as you'd expect with high pressure in control. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows low pressure is moving through the country as we speak, so that's the reason we've got quite a bit of rain across the country. We have got high pressure building down here, though. That's one area of high pressure from the Azores. We've also got high pressure getting going over Scandinavia, and these two anticyclones are going to form one large area of high pressure when we get into next week. As we see here on the UK Met Office run from the weather outlook for midnight on Tuesday. And at this point, as we go through the generic charts, I'm going to put webcam back on. There we go. So midnight on Tuesday, high pressures over top of the country at 1,030 millibars. We're high and dry. And that's how we're going to stay through most of next week. That high pressure sitting over the country, bringing lots of dry and fine weather. Now, we will pick up a little bit more of an east-northeasterly wind later next week. We'll start to drag in some cooler air from the North Sea. But overall, high pressure dominates right the way through to the bank holiday weekend. So if you like dry, fine weather with bags of sunshine and warm temperatures, but not excessively hot, then next week is for you. That's as far as we get to with the UK Met. So let's move on to the GFS. This is the GFS midnight run. First of all, again, Tuesday dominated by high pressure at 1,030 millibars. That high pressure is still over top of the country on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll just pick up a little bit more of a northeasterly for southern east areas. By Thursday, we'll lower the temperature, and the warmer temperatures will migrate to the west. And by warmer, I'm talking about mid-20s, Celsius, 25, 26, possibly at the outside 27. Nothing excessive, nothing, into the 30s. But going to be pleasantly warm anyway. And that warmth will migrate further westwards through the course of next week. Into the bank holiday weekend, high pressure is still dominating weather, sitting over the top of the country with lots of dry and fine weather. But as we get further on through the bank holiday weekend, the high pressure begins to move. And look at this, high pressure is starting to retrogress. We've got retrogression on the GFS operational run. I cannot roll my arse. I'm so sorry. But we have got retrogression. I get quite excited about retrogression because when that happens, it tells you that you're actually doing something a little bit unusual. I'll talk about it in a second. The high pressure is retrogressing from like Scandinavia out to the Atlantic by bank holiday Monday. Doesn't make much difference to us in terms of weather. It will still be mostly dry and fine through the bank holiday weekend. But eventually, the high pressure sort of starts scooting northwards up towards Greenland, and we pull in this northerly shot. As we get to the first day of September, we bring in a northerly wind. That will feel very autumnal. It'll blow the cobwebs away big time, and it'll feel a lot cooler and probably autumnal for the first day of meteorological autumn. Let's go back, and I'll just explain retrogression. So here we go on Friday with the high pressure sat to north of Scotland and up to Scandinavia. So that's where it is on Friday. Saturday, the high pressure is already on the move, actually. It's beginning to push in towards Scotland. Sunday, the high pressure then is moving out into the Atlantic, still to the centre of Scotland, but it's ridging into the Atlantic, and by bank holiday Monday, the high pressure is firmly relocated in the North Atlantic. So the high pressure has basically gone from east to west. Now, the reason we get quite excited about that is because it goes against the typical flow. For the Northern Hemisphere, the typical flow should be west to east. So everything with the jet stream and everything else should be moving from west to east in the Northern Hemisphere. So that's the reason our prevailing wind direction, for example, in the winter in particular, is southwesterly or westerly. And we generally have mild and wet winters in Northern Europe, because the zonal flow, which is the default flow for the Northern Hemisphere, is west to east. Sometimes, though, you can get a situation where you get high pressure, sometimes even low pressure, but more often high pressure, going against the zonal flow. And that is what we call retrogression. When that happens, it tells you that the atmosphere is just behaving a little bit differently and a little bit abnormally. So if this starts happening like December, January, February, then it gets quite exciting when we see retrogression showing, or retrogression showing up within the model output. Of course, it's very, very early to be getting excited about retrogression. Just more of that being a weather geek, really, but sort of gets you quite excited when you see that, rather than anything particularly dramatic happening with the weather. But you see what it can do, and why you get excited in winter with retrogression, because it pulls in these northerly, sometimes east or northeasterly winds, and so in the winter it can get things very cold. Of course, it's only the 1st September, but you will feel a chill if that comes off, that northerly wind comes in. And then we go through into the first week of September, and then the GFS midnight run re-establishes high pressure. But this is a cool ridge now. Remember, we have the northerly shot on the 1st of September, so as the ridge builds back in, that is actually quite a cool ridge, and especially so at night, probably even cold enough to give ground frost in the north. Right, this is how 6Z is looking. This is the very latest GFS. Again, high pressure dominates the weather on Tuesday. Loads of dry and fine weather to come. That carries on into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. All dominated by high pressure. High pressure sort of centering towards Scandinavia, bringing in a bit of a easterly wind will mean that the east in particular is a bit cooler. Warmest temperatures will migrate westwards. Now, as we go into bank holiday weekend, again, the high pressure is dominating the weather through the bank holiday weekend. And again, we have the hints of retrogression here. Look at this high pressure on the move through bank holiday weekend. Bank holiday Monday, so on bank holiday Saturday, high pressure sort of over Scandinavia. By bank holiday Monday, the high pressure is to the west of Ireland. Retrogression. So as we go beyond that up to day 10, this really does retrogress the high pressure, actually. It takes it right way up to Greenland. Look at that. 1,050 millibar area of high pressure centered over Greenland at day 10, which, if it comes off, will start to force the wind into the north. So as we get into the beginning of September, down comes those northerly winds, courtesy of the high pressure being in retrograde. And yeah, it's a proper cool northerly as well. So we begin the tropical autumn, very autumnal, with the 0 Celsius isotherm there in the northern half of the country. That would really lower the temperature a lot. Would be a bit of a shock to the system, actually. I mean, we're only talking about temperatures dropping down into mid-teens Celsius, but still a shock to the system, really. Could be cold out at night, though. We go through beyond that for the first week of September. Again, the winds are in from the north, so pretty cool with those northerly winds. And then increasingly unsettled, really, through the first week of September with this GFS run as low pressure starts to move in from the Atlantic. So a very autumnal sort of first week to September with the GFS 6Z. This is how the GM is talking. If you're enjoying this video, and why wouldn't you be, then please can you smash your like button, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and drop a comment up video. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Incredible. Right, so this is how the GM is talking again. High pressures over top of the country on Tuesday. Loads of dry weather. That carries on through the rest of the week. It'll be mainly dry and warm. The warmth will be migrated further westwards with time. East areas will get a bit cooler as we pick up that easterly wind. Into bank holiday weekend. Again, the high pressure dominates the weather, not retrogressing very much with the GM. Just sort of slipping the high pressure down over the country. Also, it's starting to weaken a little bit, though, by day 10. But that's basically mainly dry and quite warm up to day 10 for GM. And then the ECMWF is looking like this. Again, high pressure dominates on Tuesday. Mostly dry, fine, warm. That carries on through the middle part of the week into the end of the week. High pressure goes up towards Scandinavia. We begin to pull in those winds from more of an easterly direction. And into the bank holiday weekend, again, high pressure just dominating to our north, lower pressure down to our south and southwest. It looks like the ECM is also retrogressing the high pressure a little bit, not quite as much as the GFS, but I think we're definitely seeing a bit of a movement there of the high pressure from east to west. So yeah, it is trying to get to Iceland and Greenland. Still quite warm, actually, up towards day 10, but probably turning increasingly volatile. May bring some thunder into the south, courtesy of this trough of low pressure. It definitely looks like the high pressure does go into retrograde, though, over the bank holiday weekend to some degree. Not as much as the GFS output is doing. So not a northerly at the beginning of September, but turning cooler and turning more unsettled there. With the ECM as well. We'll just have a look at the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So plenty of rain to come over the next day or so. Into next week, there will be lots and lots of dry weather. Barely any precipitation to be seen, really, for most of next week. Just right at the very end, it begins to get more unsettled with some heavy rain, maybe even some thunderstorms down in the far south and southwest. Right, so let's have a look at the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, and this does get us to the final day of August. 24 members of the ECM ensembles will have high pressure to the north of Scotland. Around the high pressure, we bring in wind from the east. There could be lower pressure to our south that might threaten some rain for southern areas. That includes the control and the operational run. 14 have high pressure just to our west-northwest. That's going to be mainly dry, but could be quite cool, bringing in a wind from more of a northerly direction with that, perhaps similar to the GFS operationals to some degree. And then 13 have got the high pressure up to Greenland, so presumably they have retrogressed the high pressure, and we've got this trough of low pressure actually underneath it. So obviously that is the coolest and most unsettled of the options. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Will get us to the 5th of September. 20 members of the ECM ensembles will have a ridge of high pressure across northern Western Europe. That's going to be mostly dry and fine. 17 will have the mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland option with a trough of low pressure over Scandinavia. That's going to bring in cool northerly winds. And 14 will have low pressure more or less over top of the country in combination with a bit of high pressure around Greenland. That one also looks cool, but is more unsettled and will bring showers or longer spells of rain. So although the majority option in terms of like single options is this one, the drier, warmer option, actually, if you put the 17 together there with the 14 together there, actually the majority of the ECM ensemble members in 2 weeks' time are cool and potentially unsettled with winds in from the north and northern blocking. Interesting. Right, let's have a look at CFS V2 and then we're done. These are 500 millibar heights broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period takes from the 23rd, 27th of August. So coming week, we'll have high pressure dominating over into the northern country. We'll be picking up a bit of an east-northeast wind, so it won't be a heat wave, but it should be pleasant and lots of dry and fine weather. Week 2 will be the 28th of August to the 3rd of September. High pressure could be retrogressing there, could be in retrograde, going from Scandinavia to Iceland to Green with low pressure underneath it. That might bring increasingly unsettled weather to the south, and temperatures will be going cooler. Week 3 is going to be the 4th to the 10th of September. The high pressure is around Greenland and Iceland. There's also some high pressure around Spain, probably lower pressure coming through here, so that could actually be a little bit cool and unsettled. And then finally week 4 will be the 11th to the 17th of September with high pressure in the North Atlantic, low pressure over Scandinavia, winds going northwest to southeast. That looks quite cool and showery. No ongoing summer in September on this particular CFS run, actually looking like quite an autumnal September. But again, it's all speculation. Any forecast beyond 5-7 days is fraught with danger and comes with health warnings. So we shall see, and time will tell. Right, if you enjoyed the video, please can you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. You'll see future weather content. If you do that, tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much for doing this. For GavsWeatherVids, drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. It's incredible, it's amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the support. Don't forget to check out the merch as well. Right, so we're done with today's videos. That's it then. What we've got coming up tomorrow is going to be the 7 AM forecast. We'll also have the 10th and final update for autumn. That's ahead of the autumn forecast being released next Sunday. Wow. And GavsWeatherVids is certainly around it coming up tomorrow as well. No live stream. I'm having tomorrow evening off. So there's no live stream this week. The live streams will be back next week. So that's what I've got coming for tomorrow. But for today's videos, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. That's all for now, and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.